But,
We recognize that the Hogan Administrative Center occupies the land of the Ho-Chunk people. Please take a moment to celebrate and honor this ancestral Ho-Chunk land and the sacred lands of all indigenous peoples. Will the secretary please call the roll?
Ms. Baumann? Here. Ms. Berkedal? Here. Dr. Cooper Stoll? Here. Dr. Garcia? Here. Dr. Jimenez?
Excused.
Ms. Leahy?
Here.
Ms. Moots? Here. Mr. Korberg?
Here.
Mr. Spivey?
Absent.
Thank you.
A quorum of the Board of Education is present, so the regularly scheduled meeting of March 6, 2023 is called to order. We will now have the Pledge of Allegiance. Please stand and face the American flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Tonight's agenda has previously been distributed to the board. I would entertain at this time a motion with a second to approve the agenda as submitted unless there is a motion to amend.
Make a motion to approve the agenda as presented. A second.
Motion has been made by Dr. Cooper Stoll and seconded by Dr. Garcia for approving the agenda as presented. Is there any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. The motion carries. We do not have anyone registered to speak tonight, so we will go right into the superintendent's consent agenda.
I'll make a motion to approve the items on the superintendent's consent agenda as presented. Second.
Okay, just a second here. My computer is not catching up. See, I'm going to have to use these. So Dr. Cooper Stoll has made a motion to approve the items on the superintendent's consent agenda as presented. It was seconded by Ms. Leahy. Any discussion? The items on the agenda are approved as presented. Do we need a motion? Do we need a call on that?
No, you're good.
Then we move on to the board consent agenda.
I make a motion to approve the items on the board consent agenda as presented.
Motion has been made by Dr. Cooper Stoll and seconded by Ms. Berkedal that the consent agenda for the board be approved of the minutes from the last meeting. With that motion and second, the consent agenda is approved as presented. Next up, the matters for board action. Consider approval of the Cooley Montessori School Effectiveness Team Action. Who's speaking to that?
I can talk to that. Kind of a unique thing, we have charter schools in our school district that are instrumentalities of the school district. So the school board has authorized their kind of development and existence. At the same time, though, they are governed by a separate board under state law. So they establish a separate charter board that governs their activities. And, they have some unique powers dictated under state law as a result. And a lot of it involves, like general control of how the programs are operated. And as it relates to this matter, the Cooley Montessori School Effectiveness Team, or SET team, met and has been evaluating kind of their program over the years. And they made an action to continue E2 through 6th grade at the elementary schools and to discontinue the adolescent program 7th and 8th grade at the middle schools. There's a letter attached there by Ms. Everson, and she would be happy to talk further on it. If folks have questions, she can answer maybe a little bit more than I do. Ultimately, the school board does kind of own the charter schools as a matter of the instrumentality. So the school board would accept or deny that provision, and then we would amend the charter contract as we move forward.
All right, I make a motion to accept the action taken by the Cooley Montessori School Effectiveness Team to continue E2 through 6th grade at the elementary Cooley Montessori School site and discontinue the adolescent program at the end of the 2022-2023 school year.
Second.
A motion has been made by Dr. Cooper Stoll and seconded by Ms. Baumann to accept the action taken by the Cooley Montessori School Effectiveness Team. Is there any other further discussion or questions?
I just have a
Ms.
question
Leahy. Go ahead.
about the sixth graders. If you anticipate, they're going to stay with the elementary, but do you anticipate that will continue? Or do you think that the sixth graders will just decide to go to traditional middle school instead?
Yeah, I think it'll be mixed. There are some, who are very excited to continue on in that K-6 model, and they'll continue. And I think there are some that are excited to go see the opportunities that a traditional middle school provides. And so maybe 50-50 would be my guess. It's a relatively small group of students anyway. And so that would be what I would anticipate.
How many fifth graders are there currently at Cooley Montessori?
I don't know if Ms. Everson or,
Yeah, it would be 16 next year.
Oh.
Usually have space for about 18 at each grade level every year, so that would be my guess.
I think the number that would anticipate staying is probably somewhere around 6 or 7 for the next year, and we know that we have space available. They do a blended model in Cooley Montessori, so it's multi-age. So it'd be just that upper 4, 5, 6 group working together.
Okay, any other discussion or questions? If not, I'll call the question, and we have on the motion. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All oppose? Any abstentions? And the motion carries. Next is an information item on the budget development timeline. Is this Ms. Sprain? Or?
Sure, so this is annually, we present this timeline to you. Those of you who are new to the board, you will remember seeing this in your budget plan document. So this is very exciting because it's like the first document that's being presented to you for the next budget. But it just gives you a timeline. It just shows too how this is a year-long process, really. As soon as we finalize last year's budget, we are already into the budget planning for the next fiscal year. And then all of the dates that you will be presented with information are there, and until you get to the point in October where you approve the budget for 23-24. Then all of these documents that are presented to you are compiled and put into the budget plan document. Any questions?
And I'm thinking at our next meeting, we will already have the employee handbooks for the
Yes.
upcoming year, our upcoming academic year. Okay, any other questions? Okay, moving on to announcements already. Ms. Baumann.
Yeah, so the only one I have tonight is that the Gold Star grants will be under review next week, and announcements on awards will be following in the weeks after, but that's it.
Okay. One announcement from me is just that Coherence Governance Workshop is from 6 to 9 p.m., May 17th and 18th, in room 209 upstairs. So those of you remaining on the board, we will want to make sure that you get that on your calendar. The other announcement I wanted to make was, I don't know if you all had an opportunity to see the school news from the WASB, but we have an article in there that's focuses on two of our staff who, Amy Zabrowski and Teff, on, they did a presentation and they did a big article about health crisis in school districts. So take an opportunity to read that, and you can kind of see what they talked about at one of their presentations. So that's kind of nice to have that recognition statewide by the fine work that some of our staff are doing. Dr. Engel.
I can add to that, Miss Everson had a color picture above the fold. If she was at Rotary, she'd owe a little money in the pot. But just talking about our standards-based grading initiative here in the school district. So good work going on everywhere. Just a reminder that March 22nd is the WASB Day at the Capitol. Registration deadline is March 15th. If that's something that works out for you, it's a great opportunity for legislative advocacy to talk to legislators down at the Capitol and get involved in that way. WASB does a great job of kind of making the day informative and impactful and ensuring that you get an opportunity to connect with folks that are available. So if that's something you're interested in, I highly encourage it. Next, this week, March 6th through 10th, is National School Breakfast Week. It's an awesome time to celebrate our wonderful cooks out in our buildings, to celebrate the opportunity kids have to show up to school, get some food, and be ready to learn right after that. So I'll be serving school breakfast down at Southern Bluffs on Wednesday. If you have any interest in helping out, reach out to Laura and we'll hook you up to get you an opportunity to hand out some school breakfast.
Did I see that Beer by Bike Brigade is funding some of the breakfasts this week or something? I thought I saw a Facebook post.
There's a lot that goes on in our district.
Yeah.
That's what I'm not aware of.
I just thought that was a nice gesture that they always do.
It would not surprise me. They have been a very good partner,
Yeah.
with paying off school lunch balances in the
Right.
past. And so always thankful to connect with them and receive the benefit that they provide. And then lastly, just a brief legislative update. On Thursday last week, there was a newspaper article that talked about the GOP pushes for a tighter budget and kind of talked about some of their budget priorities. This is an ongoing negotiation essentially between the governor and the legislature. And so there will be lots of news coming out in the coming weeks. And we're back into legislative sessions. And so there's hearings and bills going on as well. Recently a hearing about reading and the science of reading. And so just keep paying attention and feel free to reach out and ask questions if you want any context on how things impact La Crosse, and I will continue to put out information as well. But a good opportunity to stay aware and to reach out to legislators as is necessary. So that's all I have.
There was also an article in this WASB magazine, this issue of the leadership in both the Assembly and Senate and of the education committees. So there's some good information there. Okay, moving ahead to agenda planning for the March 20th meeting.
Make a motion to approve the March 20th, 2023 Board of Education agenda with any additions or corrections.
Second.
Dr. Cooper Stoll has made a motion to approve the March 20th, 23 Board of Education agenda with any additions or corrections. It was seconded by Dr. Garcia. Any discussion or questions? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
And all opposed, abstain. Motion carries. And pretty short meeting tonight, so probably no board debriefing, but we do adjourn to a upstairs workshop. Hearing no objection, the meeting is adjourned.
We'll be going downstairs to.
Oh, downstairs, I'm sorry.